really translate what he means to all of us and to a lot many out there. With his dedication, determination, excellence, persistency, consistency, and resilience, and his whole heart, he has served many out there, thousands and thousands of them. So, wow, no applause ever. You know, the shattering one, if you remember, guys. I don't need to tell you that. Once again.
Thank you very much. I think the announcer has really given us the big sort of a name, but I think the work is done by the people at the site, and that's where Dr. Sanyal has been doing such a good work, and he has completed 100 bone marrows. So I think he deserves all the appreciation and acknowledgement. Thank you very much.
Well, humble as always. Thank you so much, sir. We are honored with your presence. And another very, very, very significant gentleman now we have with us. Please put your hands together. He's been very instrumental. And with a big round of applause, guys, we have another gentleman who's been honored by Indian government with Padma Shri, Dr. Yezde Italia. Please put a big round of applause for him. And I request the powerhouse House of Energy, Dr. Narayani, to please come here and acknowledge this moment. Thank you so much, sir, for your immense contribution towards mankind, for making sure that we all feel more safe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Honored, honored. Well, people, moving ahead, I have a very interesting question. I put it across to each one of you. What is it that we have expertise in and maybe comes very easy to us? Okay, I'll give you a couple of options. Let me pick the person who's occupied in his mobile. Hello, G. How are you today? What's your name?
Dr. Apurva.
Dr. Apu, you need to just stand up and say hi to everyone. Yeah. So I was saying that what is it that you know well how to do it and which comes to you very easy? I'm going to give you 4 options. One is to sing a song. Second is to do a push-up. Third, तीसरा क्या दिया जाए? To name a Bollywood movie, right? Fourth, to make a wish.
Do a push-up.
You can do a push-up very easily. Okay, you want to show us? Oh, I mean, he is such a support. Wow, I didn't expect that. You know, lead by example. If you want the world to be fit yourself. So, how many can you do? We just want one. We just want one. सर सब देखना चाहते हैं. सर स्टेज पे कराएंगे हम तो फिर. सर स्टेज सर I know you're strong, but stage आपके बाहर से गिरेगा नहीं सर. We have a stronger stage. Guys, I mean, I was just asking and he said I'll do it. A big round of applause for him. 1, sir, go on, sir. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, wonderful, sir. Amazing. You stand here, you stand here. I have a question to ask. So my purpose to do this is, because I want to ask you, you did like 5 of them. It comes to you naturally, you know how to do a push-up. It's not that difficult. Can you do 100?
No, not a chance.
You said it is easy.
Yeah, but stamina, right?
It may be easy, but doing it 100 times is not. What it takes is persistence, resilience, Things may come to us easy, but doing a thing continuously and doing it time and again for 100 times is not easy, guys. Bruce Lee said, and I quote that, I don't fear a man who masters 100 kicks. I fear a man who has mastered one kick 100 times. And that's what we are celebrating today, an achievement of doing this 100 times. This is our moment, guys. This is where we are after a journey that we've taken as a team. All the challenges we met, all the odds we stood strong against, proved ourselves time and again. So, this moment today is the moment of pride for us. And I will not take this away from you. Rather, I would want you all to experience this moment of pride together. Thank you. Can we have the complete blackout?
Fortis Hospital Mulund, 2 decades of clinical excellence in the community. The story of this hospital has been about providing clinical care, responding to the needs of the community and the patient it serves. Along this journey, services kept getting added in response to what the community wanted. One such requirement was responding to the increasing burden of hematological malignancies, which required bone marrow transplant. In spite of it being a city with maximum infrastructure, patients with bone marrow transplant often had to travel outside the city. It happened to one of our own. And this is what prompted us to start this journey. The community coming up and asking us for facility for bone marrow transplant, our own asking for this facility to be started in the hospital, is where this entire story of the Center of Excellence for Bone Marrow Transplant started.
In August 2014, Fortis Mulund celebrated a remarkable feat, its first bone marrow transplant procedure. The procedure was executed successfully through collaborative efforts spanning various departments. By 2016, Fortis Mulund had completed its first 10 BMTs, followed by 50 BMTs by 2020. In 2021, Fortis Mulund inaugurated a dedicated 6-bed bone marrow transplant unit, aligning with international standards. Fortis Mulund extended its healing touch to patients from 10 countries, fostering a network of healing, transcending geographical boundaries. Fortis, alongside Dr. Shubha Prakash Sanyal and his team, stood at the forefront of these achievements, relentlessly pushing scientific boundaries and elevating BMT success rates. Fast forward to 2023, the dedicated BMT unit achieved a significant milestone, completing 100 successful bone marrow transplants. These success stories resonated globally, igniting rays of hope and inspiration. Fortis Mulund, where resilience meets challenges and determination surpasses milestones. Here's to many more centuries of healing and hope. Wow. Well, this is what all of it for over a decade has come together to this pinnacle of success. And it's all yours, guys. Each one of you has been very instrumental in this, and you all should have pride in this. Because they say that bigger the dream, more important the team. And even more is the leader who guides the team through those challenges in the direction of that one vision we all of us, come together for. And at this moment, I would take the honor to call on stage that leader who's guided the entire team, the entire family through all these years to be where we are. Proudly standing as the center of excellence in patient care, Fortis Mulund, guys. And it's my honor to welcome on stage our Zonal Director and Business Head for Fortis Healthcare Maharashtra. None other than, in the shattering applause, Dr. Narayani, guys. Ma'am, please. Many congratulations for the day. It's all yours. Sorry.
Thank you, Aditya. Good evening, everybody, and a very, very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you all. It's a very special moment for us, and it makes it all the more special that all of you here, Dr. Advani, Dr. Italia, and just about everybody else, our colleagues from Delhi, our colleagues from corporate, our colleagues from the practicing community, and those within the hospital, each and every one of you for being here, thank you very much. Each one of you sitting in this room, most of you all are medical professionals, luminaries in your own field of work. So each one of you will agree with me when I say there are many things which give us satisfaction. There are many things which make us happy. But that special feeling of absolute elation and satisfaction only comes when you've done something to bring hope and to bring life to somebody else, to bring back life to some families, patients, and give hope to people. All of you all do this day in and day out. As a hospital, we do it day in and day out. And then when we take up that one little area and with a focus go about starting something and then achieve a milestone where we made a difference to a large number of people, it feels very special. And when it feels very special, like we are feeling now, we have to share it with all of you all. Why do we have to share it with all of you all? Because this is about not us, this is about all of us. Each and every one of you who's sitting here in this audience has in some way or the other contributed to making this happen. Either you belong to the sect of people who must have pushed us into starting this facility, or you belong to the set of people who've guided us in how to take this forward, or you are the people who brought those patients who took advantage of the services with us. So all in all, this is a century of giving hope to 100 families, a century of bone marrow transplant, which is not run by one player. This is the achievement of the entire Fortis family, some sitting inside the hospital and many of you all sitting outside the hospital. So I start with expressing my immense gratitude to every one of you all who's present over here. Thank you so much for making this happen. And then when there is such a momentous, we always love to share our milestones. Every clinical milestone, we always come back and share with a larger audience. And when we share the milestone, we can never forget The milestone is a culmination of what started as some small thought and then a long journey. So there's always a story behind how something happened. And how can this satisfaction and thrill which we are feeling, which I'm feeling, ever get completed unless you indulge me and allow me to share with you all how we've developed this entire transplant program in Fortis Mulund. Like we said, this hospital started 2 decades ago. We started as a small cardiac hospital. Most of you all know that. And at that time, the dominant disease burden seemed to be cardiac problems. Rapidly, things changed. The disease burdens evolved. Oncology and hematological malignancies actually started increasing in big number. We started our oncology program with Dr. Bowman, Dr. Herur, and the entire team. We already started a comprehensive oncology program. And that's when we realized a need to add on a segment for hematological malignancies, which too we started. Around this time, we realized that bone marrow transplant is a very significant part of this program. We really were not doing bone marrow transplant simply because we live in a land, we are in Mumbai, and we have the doyens of oncology, Tata Memorial Hospital, right there doing very good work. But like I said, there were some of our own and some from the community. We realized that in spite of all the infrastructure in Mumbai, had to step out of Mumbai, go to other cities to take on this treatment. And it's not the kind of procedure where you go for a few days and come back. It actually disrupts the life of the family because you need to go, wait for the transplant and wait for the after, the care and everything. So it's quite a long, disruption. That's when several people came and asked us, truly happened, why can't this hospital provide bone marrow transplant services? That's when we first thought we should do it. Not easy to do. It's not about only having, saying that we'll start doing transplant. It's a very complex thought process. It requires a very evolved ecosystem. It requires not one clinician, it requires a team of clinicians. It requires very good nursing care. It requires very good understanding of immunology. It requires very good infection control. And it requires an excellent clinician who'd lead the team. Slowly, we put together all of this. Under Dr. Sanyal's leadership, slowly we developed and trained ourselves to do better. Bit by bit, we started. We started with autologous, and slowly we went on to become this thing for allogenic. And the beauty of this was a journey in which, as we moved ahead, the patients who had taken treatment with us came back to help us. I clearly remember when we did the first patient, all of us, we spoke to the patient, they came back feeling very happy. And when we did the second patient, the first patient actually came back as a support system for the second and encouraged them and gave them answers to all the questions they needed. And then we moved on to develop excellent transfusion medicine. Once the clinical team was ready, they needed extensive support with the transfusion medicine department. That department evolved to such an extent that today they don't do just collection for our bone marrow transplant patients, but they are a registered center, one of the very few across the country, which does stem cell collection for bone marrow registries, more than one, both national and international, which is a very big achievement. So, that's the journey it was. And then even through COVID, we not only continued making sure that these services were available, we actually came up with a dedicated infrastructure a state-of-art infrastructure, one of its kind, where we could handle all kinds of bone marrow transplants. And with all of that in that journey, today we stand and say that we've completed 100 bone marrow transplants and thereby actually made a difference to so many families. The journey doesn't end here. There is more to come. We are progressively every day looking at what to do next. The newer therapies coming. All of that we are actually already, commenced to work on all of that. So while today I humbly share with you this achievement and thank you all for participating and being part of this journey with us, I also promise you that we'll keep coming back to share newer and newer milestones with all of you all in ways of which we actually make a difference to more and more people and bring in healing and bring in hope in the lives of many more. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As always,
and bone marrow transplants is indeed a relatively a newer field. And it does take a lot of courage, perseverance, resilience, and I think most important, collaboration among all and each one of you to make this happen. We have about 28 hospitals growing fast. We've recently had one more hospital coming up in Gurgaon. I am sure there will be more in Mumbai as well, and many more. Dr. Rani is already working on them. But Bombay has always remained very special. Be it clinical processes, quality, be it innovations, we have always had Mumbai show us the way. We recently concluded one of our innovation challenges that we started a couple of years ago. This time it was dedicated specifically on clinician and clinical innovation. And I must say, as usual, the sweeping majority of entries was from Mumbai. I think similar happened last time when all the finalists, we had 50% coming in from Mumbai. So as a network, we have a lot to learn from Mumbai. And we do. I think the core of what we do lies in two things. One, of course, is that we want to bring in the best in the world, be it technology, be it people, be it infrastructure, to the country, to all our major cities in the country. And second, we want to do it with compassion, honesty, and integrity. And I think that is what our differentiator is. Healthcare is expanding fast. You have many more names at every region, at every country. And I think all of us need to redefine of who we stand for. And in my view, Fortis today, being a large network of also IHH healthcare with hospitals in Turkey, Malaysia, Singapore, there is a common thread that is being weaved around in every discussion. And that is that we want to be best. We want to be guided by the clinicians. We want to work collaboratively, share best practices. But most importantly, we want to do it with honesty and passion and compassion. I wouldn't take too much time and wish you all the best. This is just a beginning. There is more to come. There's a lot of work that we're doing specifically on cancer side. We started something called Fortis Cancer Institute, which is not one building. It is a concept which weaves around all our 28 hospitals. The idea was, how do we get all the clinicians who are the best in the country to start sharing their best practices and tell us what is that we need to do to make sure that the cancer is not what it seems like to most of the people. Unfortunately, the statistics say that 1 in probably 8-10 people will end up cancer in their lives, but there's so much happening on preventive side, on CAR T cell side, on genomic side, and we are working on all of them as we speak. And we are working with them by all the inputs, that is by all of you. We are very blessed, Advani sir, to have you with us, Dr. Bowman, everybody, Dr. Harur, Dr. Rawat, everybody, to guide us. We recently concluded a Fortis Cancer Institute in Bangalore. You may have heard of it. This was also one of its kind, which had participation of all the hospitals across the network, come in and deliberate of what is going to happen. The next, you're going to hear a lot about precision medicine, about AI in cancer, about AI in therapies, also CAR T cells that we have now for all across our hospitals, not 1, 2, but across all our the centers. So this is just the beginning. This is one number. I'm sure you'll have many more zeros coming up, and not just in hematology, but in every single specialty. Thank you, and wishing you all the very best.
Thank you, Dr. Garg. Thank you so much. And we really love the part where, as Fortis Bombay, as Fortis Mumbai, we've got the opportunity to be there right at the top every single time. You've looked up to us. Thank you so much once again. And people us. Now is the moment where I take this privilege to call the man of the moment on stage, the man himself who's dedicated not just his vision, not just his dream, all his efforts. He stood strong like a rock against everything and everything that was in the way, and he made sure that I'm not going to stop. I'm going to make sure that I keep on going with my entire team and scale the heights that I believed when I started. A big round of applause, the shattering one. As I call on stage Dr. Shri Prakash Sanyal, Director, Hematology, Hemato-Oncology, Bone Marrow Transplant, Fortis Hospitals, Mulund. Once again, sir, many congratulations. One may not be enough today. Before you start, how do you feel it's your debut century? You're already in the leagues with the legends, the Brian Lara, the Sachin Tendulkar, and all of them.
Now I start more playing more harder.
Go for it, sir. Come on, people. I mean, the shattering one I requested.
Thank you. So blessings from Dr. Advani, Dr. Narayani, Dr. Bowman, and all my colleagues, Kushnuma, Daddy. So everyone is here. I don't know how to start this. So I just remember the few things what Dr. Narayani told me, and she was actually my mentor. So I was the, I think, first recruit of her when she was the medical superintendent in our hospital. I think after Dr. Girish Nair, I was the second guy. And when I went to Canada and it's back, and I was a little confused where to join. And Dr. Narayani told me before joining that, when you are back from Canada, you join here. So I was a little confused, a little bit, I'm not very sure what to do. Then Kushnoma told me, why you are so confused on some dinner? Very clear, no? Dr. Narayani kept a place for you. And I know being a corporate doctor, corporate commitment to keep your place vacant is not a matter of joke. So please trust that word and just go tomorrow and say yes and deal done. That is the way I actually joined as a full-timer in Fortis Mulund in 2001-2. Initially, we started hematology. Hematology is very simple to complex subject. Starting from low hemoglobin, low platelet, many times we say nothing to be done. Then slowly we move to hemato-oncology, and then the bone marrow transplant ultimately. So it's a very, from the plateau to Everest, that is the journey happens in hematology. And with a lot of bleeding and thrombosis disorders we manage and associated with that. So it's a very complex subject. Too much lab involvement. So my day starts with seeing the slides in the lab. I chat with Dr. Sheetal, who is a microbiologist, and only whose phone call give me some tachycardia every time. And then I move to my ward rounds and just follow like that. There are a lot of interaction needs to be managed with a different part of the medicine. Laboratory medicine, genomics, all other new molecular stuff, simple investigational parameters, and the clinical side. I was just discussing with Dr. Hamza day before yesterday. We have 4 patients in our BMT unit, and total WBC count of 4 patients together is 80. Total WBC count of 4 patients in our BMT unit is 80. So that is the pressure we have to take. Every night, me and Dr. Hamza get 4 to 5 calls. That is the way things happen in hematology. So if hematologists want to have a very peaceful life, you have. Fantastic. But if you want to choose the transplanter life, it's a tough life. I remember when I did the first transplant, I expected the WBC count will be pushing up probably today. I called around 4:30 and I was loitering. Kushtama was asking me, what is happening today? So just wait. I called every time in the lab in the morning hours, around 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I just want to hear one thing. What is the WBC count? Is it 0.140 with 5% neutrophil, or is still 0.01? 0.01 means your still WBC count is 10, the patient is not engrafted. And that gives me the kick. WBC count is starting up. And today actually, it's a meeting, everything is fine, everything is colorful today, and our all patients are engrafting today, right? All bunches engrafting. So count is actually moving. So that is the enjoyment kick as a hematologist we get. That is the fun in hematology. And in the mornings you've seen, so many patients were cured from that disease. They're back to their job. They're back to their business. That gives me immense pleasure. That is the way hematology should move. This journey of hematology and this transplant is not separate. You need a good hematology unit first. You have to nurture patient, whom to take for transplant, whom not to take for transplant. That is excellently important thing. And then accordingly you have to move, and it is not a single man's job. So Dr. Hamza is a great support, and we have a fantastic transfusion medicine department. Dr. Alisha and Dr. Lalit. Amazing guys. Next week, we are doing 3 consecutive days stem cell apheresis collection for 3 patients, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have a tough time with Lalit at how to manage that. Probably we'll be using our second machine next week, right? Then comes to the lady who manages all the different bugs. Dr. Sheetal tells what bugs are there, and Dr. Kirti Sabnis. Amazing help to me. I think one night I was calling around 2 o'clock or something, shouting at her. Kushtuma told, how you can call a lady like this at night 2 o'clock in the morning? Night 2 o'clock. I told I have nothing to do. I have to call her, because if not taking the call, my patient will die otherwise. And she's amazing help to our entire system. I think one of the very few transplant centers in the country understood the need of the infectious disease specialist particularly. And we don't call the patient when patients are already 18 NORAD, 4 vasopressin like that. All the planning start from the day patient entered in the hospital. Dr. Kirti knows all the happenings of the patients, and then we have a plan A, plan B, plan C. And I'm very proudly to say that our antibiotic use in our BMT unit is very, very less, in spite of WBC count in 10. I don't believe in the phenomenon of the meropenem targocid de do, sab kuch dekh lenge. No, I don't believe in that. Our many patients of transplant, they just go home with just a simple antibiotic with a peptide or something like that. So that is the way team is building. This 100 is just a beginning, I'm telling you. I played very slowly. Everyone knows in the industry of hematology, I'm a little slow player to start. But when I start playing, I'm playing amazingly like Rahul Dravid. I am not a Birendra Sehwag who start playing in the day 1 is sixer or something. People know that how I'm conservative it is. Dr. Hamza knows me very well that way. So we started with taking singles. Now we crossed 100. Actually, we have crossed 111, I guess. We are already 111, we guessed. And now we have a real pace we'll take about that. And we'll really play hard. That is because we have a now beautiful infrastructure. If anyone has the opportunity to see our 6-bedded BMT unit, which is like a state of the art. I really enjoy my Vancouver days where actually the unit was 28-bedded unit. Probably we'll reach in that, probably in 10, 15 days, I'm sure. But the way we are moving, we can reach that potential. BMT has a huge potential in the country. According to the population, our BMT numbers are very less. Because it's a curative therapy, you have to understand that. And if you do properly, challenges are there. Transplant-related mortality are there. But if you cross the ocean, you can see a very nice sunny beach in the other side of the sea. That is possible. And other one point I want to mention here, you need a very good micro environment. If you have a good bone marrow, you need a very good micro environment system. I have a fantastic galaxy of clinicians around me. I call very fondly Dr. Beni, neurohematologist. Dr. Beni must be here, I'm sure, the neurohematologist. He understood what I want and I know what he wants. That talmil is very important. Otherwise, aake neuroconsult likh ke chala jane ka, that never works. We have a fantastic cardiology team, Dr. Lima, Dr. Rawat, who always helps me to get the things out, but the injection fraction goes down. We have a fantastic physician team. Dr. Sanjay Shah, Dr. Pradeep Shah, Dr. Naresh Mehta, Dr. Nehte, Dr. Ram. A lot of people are there around to help me. They are a fantastic ICU team. Dr. Vaishali and Dr. Tushar, Dr. Pamit. We have a fantastic gynecology team. Why gynecology and hematology? I love actually obstetric hematology very much. I was born after my mother's 17 years of marriage. And my mother told me, never say no to any pregnancy, whatever complicated it is. And though it is not a very financially viable, but obstetric hematology is very core to my heart. And honestly, last month we have 2 babies happened with a totally after 3-4 abortions of the hematological malignancy patient delivered the baby. That gives like it is my own baby. I have seen the baby, that feeling has come to me as own baby. That is the way things happen. That is the passion I get, So every time I ask Dr. Sangeeta, 34 weeks, कब करोगे तुम डिलीवरी? 35 हो रहा है, फैंटास्टिक. चलो आउट 7 दिन आगे जाते हैं. नहीं डॉक्टर संजय रुकते हैं, PICU नहीं जाने का. Fantastic, 1 more week. It is like my heart rate is racing. When did you deliver? And a joy I seen in the couple, I really can't forget about that. That is the obstetric hematology, which is a very close to my heart. People don't practice much about that. Thrombosis is one of the area I love very much, because that is the area where actually the precision hematology comes. Every patient is individual. Every thrombosis is taken individually. Every thrombosis to be approached differently. I don't like very much protocol. Tick 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Hamza knows we don't have any protocol system in our department. We don't like tick mark. I always say, remember karo. Ekdom miss karo, chalta hai. Then your brain should work. Just like a sheet, tick 1, 2, 3, 4, tick box. I don't like. That is not the way clinical medicine to be practiced. That is the most important thing about that. So that micro environment in our hospital is now excellently worked. And one thing, our surgeons, our orthopedicians, one of my colleagues told me, Sanjay, tera paas itna myeloma kidhar se aata hai? One patient told me. I have a fantastic orthopedician, Dr. Malan, Dr. Bhosle, Dr. Milind Patil, Dr. Milind Sawan. They give a fantastic feedback of continuous of myeloma patients. So that is the true sense we are growing. As a whole, as a hospital, we are growing. We are a very vibrant hospital. And the most important part of this hospital, most of our consultants are 45 to 50, 55 range. So all are very energetic type. That works. And just before that, I want to tell you one thing. In our last hematology meeting, I told that you are still gray, you are still a black hair, don't worry. So another thing is very important. Madam told, and Dr. M.B. Agarwal told me once, तुम्हारा hospital में इतना female consultants है, ये Bombay में कोई कागा में मैं देखा नहीं. And that is true. So proper gender balance is everything is maintained in Fortis that way. So honestly speaking, it's a fantastic journey, but it's just the beginning of a journey, I'm assuring you. If I'm alive, I'm promising you, the 500 transplant meeting will be very soon happen here. I'm promising you, and I always try to keep my prophecies with Dr. Narayani. Dr. Hamza is there. And one thing I want to just before concluding, I want to tell, we have a fantastic two managers in our hospital. It's a very new concept we started. OPD inline manager, IPD inline manager. And Dr. Nishi and Dr. Mayuri, they have a fantastic connect. They have a fantastic connect with the patients. Sometimes I tell the patient, bol de unko. They nicely manage with the patient. And they replied the patient. See, patient questions are never silly. Their questions are never silly. कोई डॉक्टर को आराम प्यार करने से फोन नहीं करता है. Whenever there's a problem, they call the patient. So they manages flawlessly that job. So I'm last, not the least. I am doing Bhashanbaji here, but my girls and my boys, nurses are working there tirelessly. I think it is a fantastic platform. I want to tell one thing, which I believe very strongly. All the health leaders are there. All hospitals are go for the good doctors. I think now healthcare professionals should go for the good nurses. Try to retain good bedside nurses. Today morning, when the patient perspective meeting was going on, all the patients were naming the girl's name like anything, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was remembering, oh, like to thi mera saath, 2016 probably, 2018 probably. We have to retain these people. Brain draining of the nurses is the greatest problem in this country. We have to do something so that they stay in this country. They become as knowledgeable as us. So that this bone marrow transplant, liver transplant, the bigger ICU care, everything will improve. Only doctors can't do. Patients the nurses are staying with the patients 24 hours. So that retention is a very, very important thing. Managerial nurse is fine, but bedside nurses, good bedside nurses, they are like a clinician. Believe me, my nurses knows what the antibiotic dose will be, when to call, when not to call. I'm telling one story. When I joined Vancouver, the first step introduction, Dr. Nantel told me, our director, that you have to do night calls and like that. So I told, but I'll be staying at home. No, how can I do night calls, 28 BMT patients? Don't worry, the nurses will call and you have to answer them and you have to go whenever they call you. And are you sure your nurses are strong enough, they're bold enough to call and then understand? I think every time you should go. No, they don't go. Whenever they say don't come, never come to the hospital. And if they say come, within 10 minutes you have to be hospital. I don't know how you are so sure about that. But they are like that. That is possible if our nurses retain in the system. I think it is a fantastic platform. More BMT centers are coming up in the country. Tomorrow again morning I will be traveling to Nagpur for another Marrowcon meeting. Yesterday I was there in the Bengal hematological meeting in Calcutta. So I'm traveling a lot of India now. So I know the transplant center is coming. But nursing has to be at par. Otherwise the transplant workup, transplant, the entire program of each hospital has a serious problem. We have to keep our main pivotal nurses with us. And that is one of the areas that we have to work very hard in coming 5-10 years to make this 100 to 500 very soon with a very, very less transplant-related mortality. Thank you all for coming here. I'm just closing here for all your amazing support and everything. Thanks a lot.
Sir, I request you to please be on stage. Guys, come on. A big round of applause. Many congratulations, sir. I'll take that mic. I'll shake the hand. And I would, not just one, I'll say a couple of things, sir. Your passion, your energy, your emotion was what was reflected in those 10 odd minutes on stage. You lived every single word you said, sir. And it talks about your journey, how amazing it has been. And sir, the charisma that you have, after sir, timing of your humor, we saw a lot of laughter flowing while you were saying. That is amazing. I can only imagine how much fun your team would have been having working with you. And आपने सर एक बात कही, आपने राहुल द्रविड़ की बात की. मैं बोलता हूं कि looking at you, looking at your journey, मैं देखता हूं कि आपके अंदर राहुल द्रविड़ का संयम भी है, मगर सहवाग का स्वैग भी है, सर. सो आपने राहुल द्रविड़ की तरह इस इनिंग को बिल्ड किया है, अब आप सहवाग की तरह सर इसको फौलाद की जैसे आगे लेके जाए, सर. Many wishes to you, sir. Many wishes to you. एक बात सर, एक सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा. We all know that, success doesn't come easy. You know, we all say that whatever we intend to do, it's always difficult in the beginning, messy in the middle, and satisfying at the success. And most of us would be somewhere in our journey jahan hum kuch achieve karna chahte hain. Life comes with its own challenges to all, each one of us. Aapke saath bhi, I'm sure there are going to be those moments where it was very difficult for you. And most of us would also relate to that. What is that one thing that you would tell yourself in that moment which kept you going? And it's for all of us here and a lot more who are watching us live on the social media right now, that jab zindagi वो टक्कर वो मुश्किल देती है तो क्या कहें खुद से कि हम में आगे जाने का हौसला बढ़ा रहे.
So I come to a very basic point. I'm a student of Ramakrishna Mission all through my life, starting from class 4 residential school, class 4 to 10, 11 to 12 Belur Ramakrishna Mission. And somehow I was a very naughty student. I never used to go to temple and our prayers and everything. Mornings to I so jata tha, like that. But when I started in a career, then I realized the power of Ramakrishna Mission, what it is. Whenever I get tired, mentally tired, my wife knows very well. She never says no to me. मैं उसको बोलता हूँ कुछ तो मैं कल जा रहा हूँ तो उसका मालूम है किधर कितने दिन के लिए वो पूछ रहा है मुझे 3 दिन 2 दिन के लिए किधर जा रहा है तू मैं एक ही वर्ड यूज करता हूँ I don't know you are familiar or not. I use the word Kamarpukur and Jairambati. That is a Ramakrishna's birthplace. I used go there. I stay there 2 दिन सिर्फ खाना खाता हूँ और सोता हूँ और कुछ नहीं करता हूँ. And again I'm back. I get a Herculean energy. So my itinerary is very clear. I just drop at Calcutta airport. One of my friend is there. His name is Rudro. He's a UI president. He picks me up. We go to with his car. I go there, stay there 2-3 days and back. And that is the way we do. That gives me enough energy to work. And very simple thing I believe in life. In my school days, everything is very clear. Just do your work. That is the only thing. Work is worship. Nothing else. Just do your work. जो काम में दिया है वो आराम से करके जाओ और थोड़ा अपना बाउंड्री से निकल के काम करो. सपोज एक मेरा फोन कॉल में पेशेंट को कुछ दवा का 3,000 रुपया का फायदा होता है, डू इट. एक ही तो फोन कॉल करना है, लेकिन थोड़ा अपना. तो दिस डायलॉग आई हर्ड फ्रॉम एन IPS ऑफिसर in my class 9 15th August parade meeting. He told, थोड़ा अपने बाउंड्री से बढ़ के थोड़ा हेल्प करके निकल जाओ. That gives me a pleasure. And when I was in KM, we have a system called Poor Man's Charity Box. PBCF बोलते थे. Very boring work. इतना ड्रग्स का नाम लिखना पड़ता था, all these things. And I was used to do the very meticulously. तो मेरा जो सीनियर थे, he is in Delhi Apollo, ना Dr. Shishir Sheth. Shishir told me, संजय ये कर. क्यों फालतू काम है, तू भी करता है, हमको तो चुप करता है ये काम. तो देन शीशी टोल्ड मी, तू नहीं करेगा ना तो पेशेंट को तू ट्रीट नहीं कर पाएगा तो सीखेगा कैसे 3 साल में. तेरा पास कौन सा आमिर का पेशेंट केएम में आने वाला है. तो हमको बाद में डॉक्टर फारा बोलते थे, तू जब पीबीसीएफ का काम तू बराबर करता था ना, उसका ब्लेसिंग्स तुझे आज मिलता है. So I also believe this. That works. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And if I summarize that right, जब भी जिंदगी मुश्किल लम्हे दे, खुद के साथ वक्त बिताओ, find your space, find your place, do beyond your boundaries, try and do that extra so that the universe gives you extra. Believe in your work, love your work, and you will be there. Sir, thank you so much, sir. एक और मैंने आपसे कहा था मुझे बहुत सारी बातें करनी है सर. अब मेरे पास माइक ऑलरेडी है सर. सर आप गाने सुनते हैं?
हमारा स्कूल में क्लास 5 में 2 करिकुलम होते थे, एक सिंगिंग और एक ड्राइंग. मुझे जिंदगी में इतना टेंशन कोई एग्जाम में नहीं होता था ड्राइंग एंड सिंगिंग में, बिकॉज मुझे एकदम वो 20 मार्क्स का होता था और 10 का नीचे फेल मार्क्स होता था. सो एवरी टाइम यूज्ड टू गेट 10. दो आई एम ए बंगाली, बट आई डोंट नो आई लव म्यूजिक और नॉट, बट 100% आई कांट सिंग.
So you got me wrong. You've given all your exams and you've passed them all, flying colors. मैंने आपसे पूछा आपका फेवरेट गाना कौन सा है सर?
इधर बोलूंगा तो मेरा बीबी जाके रात में बोलेंगे, बट आई लव द गॉल अफगान जिलेबी.
सर ये इंटरेस्टिंग है. So guys, एक अलग अंदाज में हमारी तरफ से सर के लिए एक स्पेशल special thank you. We all sing Afghan Jalebi for him. Danya sir, for you only, exclusively, for the very first time on stage, you all have to put your heart and your claps along. गाएंगे? मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही. गाएंगे? तो शुरू कर दें. अफगान जलेबी घायल है तेरा. हाय वाह, वही वाह.
वाह वाह वाह, अफगान जिलेबी माशूक फरेबी, घायल है तेरा कातिल. अरे वाह वाह वाह.
घायल है तेरा आदित्य क्यों बोल रहे थे सर? For no reason at all. Sir, we are not good singers, but we love you so. We love you for what you've done for us. We love you for what you intend to do for the mankind. Once again, thank you so much, sir. Guys, a big round of applause for the man of the moment, guys. Thank you so much, sir. गाना भी गा दिया सर के लिए. और अब बारी है उस मोमेंट की जहां पे हम सर को, आप सबको, we're going to tell all of you that it's not only us present here who love him so much, who love Fortis Mulund so much, but also the patients who have been blessed with that gift of life by Dr. Sanyal. And what do they have to talk about him? Let's have a look at the patient testimonials, please.
Hi, I am Seema Harni, 40 years old cancer survivor, or I prefer to call myself as a cancer warrior. Early 2017, I received a devastating news of being diagnosed AML. I became Dr. Sanyal's first allogenic bone marrow transplant patient at Fortis Hospital. I was the second patient in the newly established bone marrow transplant unit of Fortis Hospital. For about 25 days, I called this BMT unit my home.
मेरी वाइफ पुष्पा भगवती मल्टीपल माइलोमा की पेशेंट हैं. 2014 में पहली बार मैं फरवरी के महीने में उनको लेकर डॉक्टर सान्याल के पास आया था फोर्टिस हॉस्पिटल में, और तो तुरंत उनका ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट हुआ फरवरी एंड से. एंड शी इज द फर्स्ट ऑटोलोगस स्टेम सेल ट्रांसप्लांट पेशेंट. आज पूरा 10 साल कंप्लीट हो गया है. I was just undergoing the routine tests and everything was there. But December 20, I was subjected to organ tests and doctor advised me to go for bone marrow aspiration and biopsy. And it turned out that was first stage of multiple myeloma.
एक साल पहले मुझे मालूम पड़ा कि मुझे ब्लड कैंसर है, तो मुलुंड के फोर्टिस हॉस्पिटल में हम गए. वहाँ पे हम डॉक्टर सन्याल से मिले. उन्होंने हमें बहुत अच्छे से ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में बताया. तो फिर हम एडमिट हो गए हॉस्पिटल में. बीएमटी में मैं 26 डेज एडमिट रही हूँ.
My father Satish Kumar Singh underwent BMT procedure. Thing went really well. My father didn't face any complications, any problems as such. The staff was very helpful and very cooperative.
I came to Mulund for a bone marrow transplant. Thank you very much for our stay. It was wonderful. The professional service was offered to us and we got the assurance that we are going to be well.
प्लान के दौरान मेरा वहाँ फोर्टिस हॉस्पिटल में बहुत ध्यान रखा गया. वहाँ की नर्सें बहुत अच्छी हैं. वहाँ का नर्सिंग स्टाफ बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा है. यहाँ तक कि मौसी वगैरह भी बहुत अच्छी हैं और साफ सफाई वगैरह भी बहुत अच्छी है. I'm very happy and emotional as well that I got a chance to express my gratitude towards the entire Fortis Hospital. तो अभी मैं आपके सामने हूँ. मैं बहुत ठीक हूँ. अभी एकदम पहले के जैसी हो गई. I highly recommend anyone seeking treatment in hematology and bone marrow transplant. I highly recommend Fortis Hospital to them.
All the best, Dr. Sanyal and Fortis team.
All the best, Dr. Sanyal and his amazing team. Thank you.
Wish them best of luck for future Says I am from Adi headquarters, so my salute to Dr. Sanyal and his brilliant healthcare team.
Wow.